That's the overall big picture thing. Like, there was nothing that wowed me.
I mean, this is wishful thinking, is structure updates.
I think that makes the most sense to me, but who knows?
Hello and welcome to Minecraft Lab, where we delve into all things Minecraft and explore the exciting world of Minecraft content creation, from building and designing tips to the latest Minecraft updates and news. We cover it all. Join us as we chat with some of the top Minecraft content creators in the community and learn about their experiences and insights. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, there's something for everyone on our show. So grab your pickaxe and let's get started on our journey into this blocky world of Minecraft. I don't know how to feel about that.
We're still on the AI
I didn't write it, but it is pretty good.
It is pretty good. It drags on, but it's pretty good.
This week we're actually going to get into actual Minecraft. But before I do that, let's do the introductions. I am Minor Thoughts, and with me is the woodman, the best wood on the east coast of Australia, the Troche.
That's not going away anytime soon, is it? The woodman. Does that definitely become a thing? And if you don't know what we're talking about, you need to probably hang out on my Twitch streams a bit more often. You'll understand.
You do live on the east coast of Australia.
That is correct, yes. And that's all I wish to confirm about that statement. Yes.
So how you doing? We're gonna get into Minecraft.
It's been a little while since we talked Minecraft. I don't actually think we've talked too much about it this year so far in this season of Minecraft Lab.
Well, yeah, they haven't given us a whole lot. I mean, we still do not have a name for the 1.20 update. We don't know what it's supposed to be called.
Well, I think with what is coming though, like more and more, I think what we said last year in last year's episodes of Minecraft Lab, we were saying it's like an adventure style sort of thing. I know that they've already had an update. I think 1.8 was called the adventure update or something like that. So they probably can't call it that, but it definitely seems that they're heading down that line of storytelling, be your own personality, be yourself, like with the whole armor trim thing, which I'm sure we'll talk about. It's to express yourself and tell your story. So I think that's the line it's going to be. I don't know what they're going to call it. Yeah, I can definitely see why they're struggling for a name, because you look at all the different updates that are coming out and the snapshots that have come out, it's so all over the place.
Right. Well, let's just back this train up to last year when in the Minecraft Live, right then they gave us some of the things that were going to be in this update. It was just a week later, we got some of the features, which include the camel, the bamboo block, and a new wood type. We got chiseled bookshelves and hanging signs.
Bamboo raft, but yeah, that was about it.
Yeah, that was part of the bamboo. Yeah. Line of things. And then with that, until up about Christmas, we got bug fixes. It was bug fixes for the features that they introduced. And then, of course, everybody takes breaks for the holidays. So now we're into a new set of features, which everybody seems to be excited for. I'm excited for. I don't know how you feel about this new thing, but I mean, before we get into that, with last year's content, what do you think about some of those things? Or what are you most excited about?
Look, some of those things I think were good. They were interesting. To me, there was nothing wow factor. Right? There was nothing that really got me interested in the next update. What I liked about what they announced was the fact that they said they were going to do it in smaller bits, more info. And that was sort of, I think I said it in one of those previous podcasts, that I think that what they're going to do is probably focus on the back end more and try and tidy it up and fix it up. And I think that's becoming very evident that that's what they're doing with some of these changes that they're bringing through, bug fixes and that. They are like changing the UI of certain parts. They're changing this, they're changing that. They're changing the order of the creative menu, I should say. Right. So there's a lot of tweaking I think they're doing behind the scenes to lay a better platform than what they've had going forward, which is probably what was needed. I think the camel's cute. in terms of what I've got planned that I'll be working on Interrealms, the chiseled bookshelves, being able to put books in there, I think has a really good possibility for integration for puzzles and things like that. So that was probably the one thing I was most excited for, was the chiseled bookshelves. And I've played a little with them in creative, and yeah, that's an overall big picture thing. Like, there was nothing that wowed me.
Right. And I think that's the sentiment of the rest of the community, where they think these features are cool, but are they enough? I mean, are they enough to call this an update? And I've heard different people that are boasting that this will be the biggest update ever, or so far, and I just don't see it yet. I'm still skeptical. It's because it seems like they give us features, but it's not quite what we needed or wanted. They are cool features, but there's still things that are lacking that the community's wanting, especially. Go ahead.
The community will never be happy.
Oh, definitely not. But I mean, it seems like they are listening, though. You did mention about the creative inventory. King B Dogs is working on that quite a bit, trying to get the order looking right, and asking the community for different feedback and questions. And a lot of the feedback was listened to and implemented in that. And I think that is something that the community is happy about. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Using creative, because it always works in creative.
Always.
It's something that's something that I'm doing much more these days, because I don't want things to blow up in survival.
Especially when people push buttons randomly.
Yes, on a dare.
No, what you're talking about.
You'd have to watch the live stream, people. But yeah, the bamboo, I like the fact that is a new wood type. It's going to make bamboo farms quite useful, or like a must-have, because the rates that it burns at and how easy it is to harvest bamboo.
Yeah, no, definitely. More wood is always good wood, as far as I'm concerned.
People always like more wood.
Let's just change course right now.
Okay.
My mind has gone.
You could save that for the bloopers. Now I've lost my train of thought again. Okay, so
thinking of wood does that.
The chisel bookshelves, I haven't messed around with them. Yeah, it's cool. And I'm glad that, again, they did listen to the community on how things should be with those placement of the books, where you can place them, that you don't have to put them in order. You can put them wherever you want. It'd be nice to be able to not have to take it off the shelf to know what it is.
That's true.
Some way.
But I do think that, obviously I think there's always going to be limitations to what you can and can't do with something like that. But yeah, I agree. Right. It'd be nice to know. But
which brings us to what we got at the first of the year with new features, armor trims, which I'm excited for. I don't know how you feel about that.
I think it's nice. It doesn't get me excited. I think it comes back down to the individuality that they want people to tell their story, right, and have their look and their feel and their specific. I also think that it's playing into the lines of the whole get out there, explore, and adventure thing, because the way you get to make these things is now different. You got to go out and find those pattern things, or whatever they call them.
Right.
And being able to make netherite armor is going to be a lot harder now as well. Right. Which I actually don't mind too much, because everyone that plays, when you look when we started Interrealms, for the most part, everyone got their diamonds, they got into the nether, blasted the hell out of it, and then you got your purple dark armor, and that's it. You're good to go. You're done. So
right.
See that there's different steps now to it. I like that idea. I do. But it's not a feature that wows me. Well, yes, it's nice to have your own individuality, and you can do this and you do that. And
I guess the reason why I'm most excited about it is because of the Adventurers Guild. It just perfectly plays into what I have planned for the future with the Adventurers Guild, which is getting out and exploring the world, and not just hanging around base all the time, which is nice. A mega base is nice, but getting out and exploring.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited that they're taking these old structures, making a new reason to go to them.
That's true. And I think some of these old structures, it'd be nice if they got an update, like the jungle temples.
That is true.
That'd be nice to have it. You know, if you know what you're doing in the jungle temple, you go in, you knock out the right wall, and you knock out the redstone, you get the treasure. That's it. You're done. See you later, sort of thing.
Right.
But again, though, I know a lot of people are excited about the armor trims, and it's something new. Wow, me, it doesn't.
Right.
Not me personally.
We'll get into it, but I'll just finish my thought about the armor trims. I've never been one to want the netherite armor. Maybe netherite tools. I've always stuck to my my netherite or my diamond armor. So if I were to get netherite, I'd probably use it as a trim. I'd put it on leather. Netherite trim on leather.
That's the biggest flex in the game now, I hear.
I guess. But then I also think, and I don't know how much Reimagine's looked into it, but I have mentioned it to her. She's not really wowed, but I have a feeling when she starts throwing these trimmed armors onto armor stands and playing around with how they look together with her armor stand magic, I think she might be won over. But you're right; it's still lacking. So let's just discuss what's still lacking and what we hope for the future.
I think they're leaving the biggest and the best till last. I think they're doing all their little things now and first, just to drip feed information through and get it out there and blah blah blah. I still think they're very burnt from the last update where they announced these big things that just didn't come out, and I think they're very much taking the line in the sand. We're not going to announce anything until it's basically ready to be out in a snapshot. And
right.
I have no doubt they're working on a big thing or big things or something. We're just not going to see it yet. And that's why I'm not jumping up and down and panic or worry. I know the things that are coming out at the moment are not wowing me, but I have a feeling that there's something will come that will, like what we got now is not going to be it. It simply can't be it. Otherwise, we'd be saying, here's 120, guys. And we're nowhere near that.
Yeah. I have to agree. We've got, let's see, I was listening to different people talk about it. We have, let's see, probably March, April, May, June, 4 months, about 4 months until they start pre-releases, if you go by previous years. So I'm going to agree with you. I think there's going to be one major thing, and what I think is possibly a biome update. Or, I mean, this is wishful thinking, is structure updates.
I think that makes the most sense to me, but who knows? If they're going to be heading down this exploration and telling stories route and giving people new reasons to go to these places so you can get those armor trim, designy, whatever they're called, those things, then I think that makes sense that they're going to overhaul some of the structures or do a biome update or something like that. Who knows? It's really hard to tell because you don't know where they're heading. I know in our recap of when we did the recap for Minecraft Live on this podcast, we threw out, we were very adamant that it was going to be an inventor-style update. Even in the lead up to that, we were saying that was what we were thinking it was going to be. And I've seen nothing that would change our mind on that.
If you, I just had this thought. If you look at previous updates and things on the back end, commands and whatnot. Something that was recently added, I think it was last in 1.19, was the place structure, where you could just, if you're making your own maps, you could place structure anywhere. And I think this is just one of those Minecraft lab theories, is that was done so they could add in new structures, which you could place, or you could have the code for like random world generation could place in these new updated structures.
Quite possibly.
So that's just a theory.
Look,
a Minecraft lab theory.
Yes, where we explore, theorize. Look, it all makes sense, doesn't it? It all lines up. It all is heading that way. We're going to just wait and see, I guess. But I would like soon to see something that makes me go, wow, okay, that's going to be pretty cool. At the moment, it's been, oh yeah, sure, cool.
Right. Well, when they first we knew the Warden was coming to 1.19. And when we finally got it in snapshots, I was like, wow. But then you saw people cheese it. I'm like, eh. But week after week, they made tweaks to it. And I'm like, yeah, wow. And saying this, I have not, as of yet, been to a ancient city on Interrealms.
Well, there's a reason for that, because Naku's raided them all in the entire world.
No, there is one. I said hands off.
That's true.
So,
that is true. That is true.
That is going to be part of the Adventurers Guild. So, no, I'm not going to spoil it. So don't ask.
But to me too,
I'd say that more for me.
The ancient cities is a missed opportunity so far, because
still, yes, there's
really like I know people, for example, Naku, just love going and doing it for the sake of doing it. Those type of people aside, there's no reason to go into an ancient city. There's just no reason. Why put yourself... Once you actually... Okay, to get the Swift Sneaks spell books. Other than that, once you've got that, why do you need to go down there? There's no reason.
Right. If you don't... But I mean, with the 1.20, if you don't want the Ward armor trim, you don't have to go there. But that's going to be one of those added things to the loot down there in ancient cities.
But...
Is that Warden trim.
I guess where I was heading with that, and why I hope the structures get an update, is because there's no reason to actually go to any structure in Minecraft. You know, okay, people might argue, oh, if you want a lay, go to a mansion. Okay, but I've got one lay, I can now duplicate it. Why do I need to go back again? What entices me to go out there and explore it to find another one? Nothing. What entices me to go to an ancient city once I've got my Swift Sneak? Nothing. What entices me to go looking for a jungle temple? Right now, nothing at all. Like you fly over a jungle and you go, oh yeah, there's a temple there. Keep on going. The structures need an update. They need more structures, new structures. If exploration and getting out there and telling a story is important for this update, which it appears to be, then go for it. Now, I think you're right with the biome update. I think they're going to do jungle and or desert, just based on what has come out with that 120 thing.
Or both.
Or both. Which then leads me to think, okay, the 2 pyramid-style structures in the game are going to get an overhaul.
Could be.
That's my thought. Like you could argue, I guess, that they've given people a reason to go to the mansions because of the allays. So there's a reason to go and search one out.
True.
But there's no reason yet to go to a jungle temple or a desert pyramid.
Right. You bring up a good point, because looking at the mansion and even the underwater monument, those are maze type things you kind of have to explore. The jungle temples and desert pyramids are just basic. Call them what they are. They're basic. So to put if they did update something like that, I think that would be interesting.
Well, you know,
put a maze in it.
Yeah. Well, look, the desert temples as an example, unless I'm playing like a hardcore thing or I'm playing some sort of ultra hardcore challenge or something, I bypass them. The only reason I go in them in when I'm playing like a challenge style video or style game is try and find a golden apple. But in normal Minecraft, like there's no point going down there. There's not really much usually anything of any interest down there.
Oh yes, there is.
TNT.
Yes, there is.
TNT.
Yes, sir. Every single time I go to a desert temple, I make sure I take the TNT.
But that's your happy place. If there's TNT, you're happy.
I know. But I mean, the jungle temples, they only have like one small trap also. So,
which is very easy to get past.
Yeah, very easy to get past. You, with the underwater monument, you have the guardians constantly shooting at you. So it is a challenge to make your way through the maze. And then with the mansions, you've got different bombs in there, evokers, the dudes with the axes.
Johnnies.
That's
the Johnnies.
Johnnies, yes. So there is a challenge there. And it is a maze. You have to actually go through it, explore it. So yeah, we might be on something there. I don't know. See, we could sit here and say these things, what we hope would be updated, but based on what we've seen so far, But again, like I said earlier, as much as we talk about what would make sense, Mojang seems to do something slightly different that we didn't expect.
Hey, it still makes sense to me that portal thing in the ancient cities will go somewhere. That still makes sense to me. Maybe not now, in the future, maybe, but it's just such a strange thing to have that has no function, no nothing, that you cannot take the blocks out of. You must leave the blocks there. Why? Now, I have no doubt they've got a lot of pre-planning and pre-thoughts. Yeah, I don't think it'll be this update, but it'll do something at some stage, I'm sure. If not, wasted opportunity. Whole ancient city thing. Without that thing doing something, the whole ancient city thing is a waste of time, wasted opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Back to netherite and armor trims and all that. What I'm glad about is, well, I've heard both sides of being able to duplicate these different patterns or templates is kind of like you go find it once and then you can duplicate it. I liked the addition of having to use diamonds, so it makes diamonds more valuable, because that's what happens and a lot of time in especially multiplayer servers is they become almost useless. So
diamonds are the most overrated resource in the game, because simply you don't need to go mining you don't actually have to go mining to play Minecraft, which is a fundamental flaw, I think. You get the right villagers set up, you don't need to go and get diamonds. And people go, woohoo, diamonds. Yeah, but I've got 3 villages over there that give me everything I need diamond-wise, and they come enchanted with, sometimes basic enchantments, but they come with enchantments.
You use the rest of your villagers to get them to where you want.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the system needs a whole overhaul as well, because they are pretty OP. My point is, diamond-wise, yeah, give them an extra use, because outside of the currency on a multiplayer server like Interrealms, and you'll actually see in my episode 2 of my one chunk, I think it was, I was actually more excited to find iron than what I was to find diamonds, because iron has so many uses across so many different things. Iron was more valuable resource to find than what it was to find some diamonds. So
exactly. Exactly. What do you feel about the trims being cosmetic only? Do you think they should have some kind of effect once you put them on your armor? Or like if you're putting netherite trim on diamond armor, do you think there should be some kind of effect, or just cosmetic only?
Great question. I can see both sides of that argument. I don't really care either way. Initially, when I saw that debate raging on Twitter, I was very much, no, keep it cosmetic. But the more I've sort of thought about it, it's like, well, as you said, I've got a piece of leather armor that I'm going to burn netherite on, like not burn on, but like burn up that piece.
You just want to flex.
Just want to flex. Yeah, true. But should there not be a reason to make people at least consider, besides the flex, to do that, to put it onto leather? I don't know. I know one thing I do agree with is people saying that the echo shard should be an option as a trim.
True.
Because that then gives them actually a usage.
But another debate I've seen is gold trim on different armor should pacify the piglins.
I've seen that. I actually disagree with that.
I don't think it's enough. You have to have like at least one full piece of gold.
Yeah, you're changing a pretty well liked sort of game mechanic there that actually makes things interesting, because you have to make a decision. Do I change my armor around? Do I have a piece of gold? It forces me to want to use gold armor, which is the only time I ever use gold armor is when I walk into the nether. So I like that. I'm against that one, making the trim make it. I know it would make sense, logical sense for that to be the case, but game wise, I'm okay with it not having that effect.
Making diamonds more important, making netherite more valuable, harder to upgrade. You have to go to a bastion to get the template to do upgrades at all, because they've changed the smithing table, the way that works. It's got different slots now for trims and the template, the block used to trim it with, and then the armor slot. So
one other part though to this trim thing, right, being I think the reason it doesn't wow me, outside of multiplayer, what's the point of it?
Exactly.
So I see on a multiplayer server it'd be good because, and obviously we both play on Interrealm, so it'll have a use. I have no doubt. But you can stand out differently, have your own personality on a server. But when you're in your one player world, you traditionally don't see what you're wearing because it's just you see your hand. That's it. So what's the point of the feature outside of a multiplayer server? It has no impact on my game.
Yeah, exactly. And I wonder if that's what they're trying to encourage. I heard this update called the Expression and Exploring update. Just because of you're trying to be an individual, you've got more options as far as your default character, armor trims, looking different, being able to express yourself, but at the same time exploring the world around you. I don't know. That's another theory.
Not a bad one. And they were very open that they wanted people to be themselves and tell their own individual stories in the game. So yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Well, let me ask you this. Since we've started doing this podcast and watching the snapshots and following the snapshots in each podcast, which is something that we did regularly last year, and then one whole episode of snapshots. As the snapshots come out, this is my question. As the snapshots come out, is there a certain level of anticipation? And then when it's just bug fixes, do you feel let down? Because I do.
When it's mostly bug fixes, I don't look at it. It does nothing for me. But I understand that it's an important part of the development cycle that they need to do that to lay the best possible platform. I haven't been excited for any snapshots for this one, apart from the first one, which was the one that came out with the camels and all of that. Outside of that, I haven't looked at them. I haven't watched any of Azuma's videos on it. Nothing. And usually the first thing I do when I know there's a snapshot out is I'll go and watch Azuma's video and get the summary of it because he does a brilliant job of explaining it all. So that's usually how I get my info. I actually came into this podcast recording blind. Other than the trims, I was just sort of, I'm going to feed off Miner on this one and just put my thoughts on as it comes up. I just don't care about what's come out so far. And now that actually raised another question. Is that a flaw of the way they're doing it now? People's interest.
Sort of. And that's what I think we mentioned on a previous podcast. Modded Minecraft is on the rise. And it was mentioned that these armor trims feel like modded. I think I'm enjoying a lot more modded content right now than I am actually vanilla content. I'm watching very little Hermitcraft, and still they're using a lot of things that make it look modded. But I'm enjoying your one chunk, shameless plug for the Troge here, the one chunk challenge. I don't know. It still seems like it's lacking.
To be fair, right? Anytime they bring in a new feature, whether it's frogs or anything, it feels like it's modded because it's something new, it's something different. Then once you move past it after the first month or two, it's part of Minecraft. It's just part of the game. It's vanilla, right? Oh, look, it's a frog. What do you do? So I understand what people are saying that it feels modded. I think that's probably more true actually for the armor trims than anything. I think it does feel like it's straight out of someone's modded textbook. It does has that. I agree with them. It has that vibe about it. But then, once it's actually released and implemented 2-3 months in, everyone's running around with their different armor sets and they're all being individuals and all that. It's just going to feel vanilla. It's not going to feel modded anymore. The first time you go into an ancient city, you got that sense of wonder and like, ooh, this is pretty cool. This feels different. Now it's like,
That's what makes playing together and creating your own stories more important because, especially with the Adventurers Guild, I want people to have more of a reason to go to these places, to an ancient city or a stronghold, or creating a custom biome in the end. Dang, spoilers, sorry. Giving people reasons to explore more and find something new and unique.
And that's really what Minecraft should be, is a sandbox game that you can get out and explore. And if they move towards that, I think that's a really good move.
Because they have to stay within the confines of the code where it's everything's procedurally generated. But you look at things like Better Minecraft and other mods, Terralith, and you're saying, well, why can't we have this in vanilla?
Yes, or Create.
Oh my God, yeah.
With Create, though, it is intensive on system resources. So I understand why you couldn't probably have something like that in vanilla, because not everyone's got a supercomputer that can run these things nice and smoothly. Average computers will, like, this is probably a spoiler, but there were a little group of us that were looking at doing a Create series, and half of us couldn't actually run the mod because it was just so intense on the computers.
Mm-hmm.
Two of those people have gone, oh, I'm going to go buy a new computer. But not everyone has that luxury. Not everyone can do that. So I understand why you have to have certain things like that may be like a mod option only.
Right.
Ultimately, what I would like to see from Minecraft, from where it is right now, and obviously I don't have extensive years experience playing Minecraft. I didn't grow up with it. I ignored it for many years of my life. But from where it is now, from where I've been playing I've been playing since 1.15. So from where it is now, what I would like to see improved is the sense of exploration, to actually want to get out there and explore the world, not basically find your base area and set up there, and then that's sort of where you stay for the rest of the time you're on that world, but have a reason to get out there and explore and go forth and conquer. The other important bit that I would like to see is it to be able to tell a story a lot easier than what it is now. So having lore in the game that actually is lore, not inferred lore. I would like to see it have, these new structures. I would like to see all of this, because that's what Minecraft should be. That's what I would like to see it to be. The ability to add life, more life. You run around Better Minecraft, the world feels alive. You run around a vanilla world and, there's a cow, there's a sheep, there's a village. It doesn't feel alive. Like in Better Minecraft, you're running around a forest and you can hear the sounds of the forest. There's a bug will scamper through behind you. A butterfly will fly over your head. A green bird will fly around your corner of your vision. You'll think of a creeper and it'll give you a jump scare. The world feels alive. Every time you walk around a corner in that mod pack, ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's that?
Right.
It's
the
world is alive. There's a history in that world. You don't know what it is, but there's a history. There's broken buildings, there's army encampments, there's dungeons, there's big massive castles, there's broken down cemeteries. There's a story in this world. There's a history in where you fit.
Right.
And that doesn't translate to the vanilla experience. So if they can find the balance, obviously you don't want to go full whole hog that way, but become a modded experience. Right. But if you could find the balance between all of that, it would be really good.
The thing I always forget, and I understand they have to make this compatible. Whatever they do has to be compatible across all platforms. They Java, Bedrock, mobile, whatever. The features that they implement, they can't have these massive things like Better Minecraft and expect that to work on mobile. So their hands are kind of tied in a way where they're sort of limited with what they can do and still have it work across all platforms.
That's very true. Yeah, and that's one thing that the mod developers don't need to worry about. They don't need to worry about if their thing doesn't work on mobile or Bedrock or whatever. They just develop for the one thing that they want, and that's it. Yeah, very valid point. But I'm sure there are things that they can tweak in the vanilla experience that will bring it more in line with better stuff to make the experience feel alive and living. And you look at builders like Scar, who have the ability to take these static objects and bring life and B-dubs into their build, right? But not everyone has that level of skill to be able to do that when they're building a base or building a story. They don't necessarily have that. And obviously that separates the great creators from the learning ones, the up-and-comers. But to be able to have an ability in the game to add more movement, more life to your base, your build, I can't see, it'd be nice to have that explored.
Right. I agree. Well, we've explored what we hope and what we know about the Minecraft 1.20 update, whatever name you give it. And we hope that you will put your thoughts down in the comments. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you thought about the podcast. We do have an email. It is minecraftlabpodcast@gmail.com. And you can also find us now on Twitter at mclab_podcast. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, definitely follow us there, and we'll connect. And
right, we're trying to reach out to the community more and more, get you guys more involved. We have upcoming live streams. Don't know when, but that's something that we want to continue, get you guys involved with the discussion, because this is a community thing.
That's the hope. That's the hope. But no, yes, we do want to get back to the live stream recordings of the Podcast Lab every so often, because they are usually a bunch of fun. And without giving spoilers away, Minor, the topic we've got to discuss in the next live one is a cracker of a topic, and we'll be sure to have a lot of debate with people's views. So it is. You know what it is. We talked about it in the pre-show before I started recording. Do some thinking music.
I'm waiting for those brain cells to fire again.
I'll tell you off camera. It's something versus something.
Okay. Right. Okay. It clicked.
There we go. The brain cell's engaged.
Oh, give us your thoughts and feedback. We'd like to hear it. Outro. There we go. Thanks for tuning in to Minecraft Lab. We hope you have enjoyed the episode and found it helpful. If you have any feedback or suggestions for future episodes, please visit at our website, minecraftlabpodcast@gmail.com, or on Twitter, mclab_podcast. We'll be sure to answer. We want to get you guys involved. Don't forget to join us next time for more Minecraft tips and tricks and talk. Have a great day. Enjoy. Happy building.
That'll do.
So wrong.
Wrong. It's so right. Well, with that, goodbye.
See you guys next time.